Hello my friends, and welcome to Tom's Tinkering and Adventures. Well, today I'm going to mess around with my scooter a little bit here. I've kind of became a little bit enamored in love with this little thing. Kind of a pile of crap, but I don't have too much invested in it. It actually runs pretty good. It's not really a pile of crap. It's a good little scooter. Don't have much invested in it. It's very capable. It's fun to ride. Now the problem with this scooter is that I thought it was going to be easy to get some parts for it. It's mostly complete. It's missing a couple of small things. Not really anything that affects its performance, you know, everything works. But a couple of things that bother me about it is it's missing this little battery cover here. There's probably a fuse block cover here too, and that thing I have to hook back up. This light fixture is missing. I just kind of stuck a light in there, and then this cover is missing that goes over the carburetor. Now I thought all this stuff I was going to be able to order, but they don't really carry parts like that. I can get engine parts for this thing all day long, but I can't get those kind of parts. And I've looked on eBay and a few other places, and I did end up finding a light. I got that on order. I think I paid $7 for it. And this battery cover, well, that's nice and flat, so that'll be easy to make. But this one, it's not flat. It kind of goes across this carburetor and then it drops down. So I want to try to make something, and it's probably not going to be perfect, but I went to the store with this thing the other day and I threw some groceries in here, and well, I wasn't too concerned about it. It would be nice to have something covering that, and if I can't figure out something very simple, I might just make something. We'll figure it out here. But I started looking around my shop, and the first thing I saw I had laying around here was this XR400 airbox that I changed out when I was working on my buddy's XR for him. And I think this little piece of plastic here, it's already coming apart, so I'm going to peel that apart and see if I can't make something work with that. And if there's a flat enough piece on here, I don't know, maybe that one's kind of curved. I don't see any flat pieces, otherwise I would make that battery compartment cover. But let's see if we can't peel this thing apart and figure something out. I got this thing off, only got a slight injury. Dang, plastic just snapped back, cut me up pretty good. So this might actually work, or at least it'll be better than just having that open. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some measurements. I'm going to kind of draw this out a little bit, and then we will trim this down a little bit and just kind of do some test fitting and see what happens. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but it'll be better than nothing. And I just cut this out of cardboard, made a little battery cover out of cardboard for now, which knowing me, that might just stay in there forever. Who knows? So let me get some measurements on this thing and I'll transcribe them over and we'll start cutting. I use my cordless circular saw to cut this, and I just cut it down 7 inches wide, kept it the entire length here. And it actually doesn't fit too bad at this point. I mean, honestly, I could drill a hole in it right here and screw it in there and it wouldn't be too bad. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mess with it, or maybe I shouldn't. I'm going to cut a little notch out here so it'll slide into there. See that? So I'll cut that little notch out right in the center. And then I will cut these edges off. And we might even try to heat this thing up and bend these sides down a little bit. But let's cut this notch out of here first. So I'll measure how wide that is. And we'll cut that right in the center here. I was just thinking that I'm going to spend a little bit of time making this thing, and that'll be the time one of these will pop up on eBay for $5 or something. So anyway, I cut this tab off the end, and I heated it up a little bit with my heat gun because it was angled down, so I kind of straightened it out a little bit. It's still kind of angled down, but there you go, into there. And now down to here. So now I need to transcribe this mount hole into here so we can figure out where to drill that, and then figure out how I can kind of cut a similar pattern onto this end of it. I'm not going to be able to bend the sides down. I mean, they should have a little lip that engages into here, and I just don't have that capability here. But if I can even cut it close to this size, it'll at least look fancier. And I think I might be able to put enough heat on these. Actually, I'm going to have to cut some more of this off. If you look at the way that this fits here, yeah, I'm going to have to cut this off about like that maybe, and then bend these sides down just a little bit. We'll try it. So now, like I said, I think I'm going to get some cardboard maybe and try to trace this pattern out on here. So if I can get this pattern traced out on here, then I can cut a little tab out that goes over that, drill that hole through the center. It'll look okay. All right, so I located the hole. I got that screwed in there. At this point, it's actually not too bad, but what I did is I took a sheet of paper. Let's take this off. I took a sheet of paper and I laid it over this, and then I just rubbed my finger over this edge, which kind of transcribed that shape onto here, and I cut out an extra little tab for that part. So now, and there's the bolt hole. So I can put that right over that bolt hole and transcribe that onto here, and I could cut that shape out onto here and make it look even a little bit better. So we'll bring it over here. I'll cut it out and let's see what it looks like. Well, now it's kind of starting to look like something. I don't know what exactly, but it's starting to look like something. I think I'm going to try to put a little bit of heat on these corners and see if I can't just bend them down just a little bit on these sides. But as is, definitely is nicer. It's covering up the carburetor, kind of giving a little bit more of a finished look. As you can see here, I maybe should have cut that a little bit bigger. I don't know. I think what I'll do is I'll go from here back. Maybe just try to bend this thing on a straight line. I don't know. We'll see what we can do. Let's put it in the vise probably and put the heat gun on it. right, so I did a little shaping there. I bent that front end up so that when I put it in here, it will hopefully bring this front end down. So let me get it all bolted in. Actually, let me wash it up, get it bolted in, and we'll take a final look at it in here. All right. I'll put some light on the subject or take some light off of it. The carburetor's covered up. It's not perfect, but I mean, if you didn't know that I just built that, you may or may not know that it belonged in there. And I got my cardboard cover here. Yeah, I'm gonna make one of these, but I need to find a nice flat piece of plastic. And I'm thinking, I don't know if any of my viewers have ever worked with Kydex. You can buy that in a sheet. I might buy a sheet of it. A lot of people make gun holsters with it and all kinds of little things like that. So it's supposed to be pretty easy to work with, and you can buy it in different thicknesses. So I might just buy a sheet of that and try that out if it's not too expensive, just to make a cover for this. And there's probably, like I said, supposed to be a cover over this as well. But this cardboard's going to stay in here for now. This light is on its way. Like I said, I was able to find that, but that was like a universal thing. This wasn't. It was only for this model scooter. So there we have it. A little project in the garage. Made something out of nothing once again. And what did we do it for? Yeah, just because we could. I mean, the scooter ran fine without it, and probably everything was safe in there, even without that covered. But you know, little things like that, I like to try to come up with a solution and figure out a way to make it work. And I think it turned out okay. So, thank you very much for watching. Get out there and find your adventure. Adios.